All right, all right. Just got back from training and had a bit of dinner. So yeah, sorry, it's a little bit later than we usually do a stream, but yeah, it's been a pretty busy couple of weeks in the world of Bristol City, hasn't it? Um, yeah, I certainly getting our fix of content and stuff. Callum, good to see you in the chat. We got Alan as well, Tom and Liam. Good to see you, Liam, mate. Sorry I didn't even say hello on my last stream to you. So yeah, a couple bits of news came out today. I'm going to focus on Nakhi Wells because I think that's the bigger piece of news. It's a good piece of news that Rob Atkinson has signed a contract, but all it means is we've still got Rob Atkinson, if that makes sense. It's not like the biggest talking point, I don't think. I'm very happy that he signed a new contract and he's, back being part of the Bristol City squad again. But yeah, I wanted to focus on Nahki Wells. So there we go. Confirmed Bristol City 5 hours ago now. So obviously I'm a little bit late, but I was training this evening. Wells departs after 5.5 years in the West Country, where he scored 48 times in 237 appearances. Great servant to the club. Good time to move on. Some guy I would be inclined to agree, to be honest. Bristol City can confirm that Nakhi Wells will leave the club following the conclusion of his contract at the end of June. 48 goals, 237 appearances. On departing, Nakhi Wells said, over the past 5.5 years, I've built a massive connection with so many people at Bristol City, from the staff at the Robins Performance Centre and the fans at Ashton Gate to the many amazing people in the local community. We've created so many special memories that will live with me forever. You've taken me in as one of your own and made my family feel at home the moment I joined the club. The moment on the pitch at Ashton Gate, finding out we've made the playoffs, is something I will never forget. Celebrating something we worked so hard to achieve with the fans who backed us all the way. I wish you all the best up the city. Well, and John Lansdowne says, I'd like to thank Nakhi for everything he has given Bristol City in his time here. He has been an exceptional role model on and off the pitch, contributing significantly both to the first team and to the development of our young players, also helping the Robins Foundation to make a difference in our community. We wish Nakhi all the best for the future. So yeah, Nakhi Wells has gone. Excuse me. Let me know in the chat your thoughts on that. For me, I think it's the right time to go. I think it's the right time to go. I could have gone either way. Yeah, I think it was the right time to go. The only thing that we are now missing as a Bristol City squad, I think, is an old head. I don't think we have any players above 30 now, if I'm not mistaken. Might be wrong. Not that that's a horrendous thing, but yeah, he was our oldest and most experienced player. I picked up his stats here from FBref. So yeah, obviously he signed for Bristol City in 2019. In his time, he scored 40 odd goals. His best season for us in the Championship was 11 goals in 22-23. He scored 10 in 2021, and obviously 10 this season. So this was his second best season at the club. 10 goals from 39 games. It's not lighting the world up, is it? But I think what we'll probably miss more than his goals was his impact and experience in the dressing room. But yeah, I think I kind of agree with some of the comments in the chat here that as soon as Liam Manning was going, it certainly looked like Nakhi Wells was going to go as well. Kev T, I don't think we'll ever get official confirmation, but I've seen people reporting on Twitter that he was never actually offered a contract. He was never actually offered one. And I'd probably agree with you, Ben. See, we've got Ben, Norwich fan in the chat, saying he's coming to Norwich. I would be inclined to maybe agree with you that he comes in as an old head. The only thing is you get that old head in if they were English, but he's not actually English, he's from Bermuda. He's obviously spent a lot of time living and playing in England, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, his nationality and national team is Bermuda. So yeah, Nakhi Wells has left Bristol City. I'm just going to have a look to see if we've got any more stuff. We'll skip over Atkinson for the time being. Nakhi Wells' best bits. Full debut, first goal, beat Derby 3-2. Both Jeju and Wells up front at that time. 1-1 draw in the special kit. COVID football highlights. I can't play the replays because I'll get stung for copyright. Winning at Ewood Park, that was a pretty good result, wasn't it? 1-1 at Sunderland. 5-0 against Blackburn. Yeah. Was that our first penalty? I remember he scored our first penalty for like 2 years, didn't he? And then, of course, the 2-0 win against Norwich was one of our most important results last season. And, of course, the 2-1 win against West Brom as well. He opened the scoring in that game too. So, yeah, I'm going to miss him, definitely. One thing I would say about Nakhi Wells as well is that I doubted him. Going into this season, I was thinking, Nakhi Wells probably shouldn't be at Bristol City anymore. But he fully shut me up and proved me wrong this season. I thought he really, he played really well this season, didn't he? Can't lie. Here he is with his kids. That was the quote we've already seen. So many iconic memories. Sitting down the QPR defence. Penalties. Or maybe that was the first pen, actually. Sunderland away. Was that the first penalty? I can't remember now. Goals against Norwich. Happy days. 237 appearances, 48 goals. So he is the 58th highest number of appearances for the club and the 34th highest scorer. So, yeah, first pens against Sunderland. There we go. What's our thoughts then? My opinion is I could have gone either way on it, to be honest. If the new manager wanted to keep him for his experience and to be a bit part player, fair enough. But also, if he didn't want to keep him, that's also fair enough. I don't think 10 goals in a season is the level of striker that we need, going forwards. If he, clears a bit of wage budget, allows us to get someone new in, I won't be too upset, I don't think. Yeah, Tom, I would agree. He's still in tip-top physical condition, to be fair. Although he played a few 90s, didn't he? Let's have a look, actually. How many minutes he got. Does it say? That many. Say how many. Get match stats. Match log. Let's see if he played 90 minutes. Very rarely played 90, didn't he? Well, it certainly opens the door to sign some strikers, doesn't it? We'll leave that page on. I mean, surely we do. I think we had Emil Rees, who left Preston as a free agent this summer, I believe, in the High Performance Centre a couple of weeks ago. So I'd suggest he's probably coming our way. And then it's a case of, will the board be content with... You'd like to think they sign a striker now. Will the board be content with Sinclair Armstrong, Emil Rees, Fally Mayulu, and... who's the other one? Sam Bell is our forward options. So, yeah. Heard Bell is available too. That is interesting. That is interesting. And yeah, should we have a talk about Rob Atkinson as well? Let's talk about Rob. So he signed a new contract. Rob Atkinson has signed a new contract until the summer of 2028, initially due to expire in 2026. He's put pen to paper on a further 2 years. Made 66 appearances and then obviously was injured. Joined Portsmouth on loan in the second half of the season, which dubious decision in my mind to do that. But ultimately we kind of got by, I suppose. Well, we didn't get by without him, did we? Because we lost Dickey and then we lost the playoffs. He says, I'm really happy to be home and to get the deal done. I'm excited. I've seen a few people today and the excitement for next season is starting to dawn on me. Brian Tinian has said, we're really pleased that Rob has signed an extension and we're looking forward to seeing him in a City shirt. His loan spell with Portsmouth was a massive success as he gained vital minutes, but also putting in some pretty impressive performances. And also, I think, reading some of the tweets from Portsmouth fans, they were wanting to sign him. So I think that probably says all you need to know, really. We'll leave that one on, shall we? We'll leave that screen on. Oh, what's going on here? Bear with. Sorry. What's the chat saying? By what I know, Nakhi spoke after Sheffield United. Manning wanted to keep him. Nakhi wanted to stay, and they were going to sort a deal. Then 3 weeks later, Manning went. Yeah, fair enough. Could be Sinks, Fally, Cornick, and 2 others. Interesting. Yeah, Cornick's surely off as well. I didn't even mention Cornick, but I mean, surely he's off. Atkinson would have been gone if Manning was still there. Yeah, quite possibly. Apparently Wells was your highest paid player. He's definitely amongst the top ones. Let's have a look. Bristol City wages. Now, I'm not sure how accurate salary sport is, but it's widely reported that Luke McNally is actually our highest paid player. There's an estimate. I don't know how true it is from salarysport.com. Seems to think that Luke McNally is our highest paid player, followed by Fally, and then Jason Knight, and then Nakhi Wells. Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with some of this. Different one says Nakhi is highest. Interesting. Let's have a look then. Capology is another one, isn't it? Capology's got, yeah, here we go. Capology looks a bit more legit, in my opinion. We've got Valverde there. Get rid of him. So yeah, they've got him 27k per week. We really think he was on 30? Harry Cornick's on 15k a week. I don't know. But you'd imagine that Nakhi, regardless of whether these figures are right or wrong, you'd imagine Nakhi Wells would be one of the higher paid players at the club, right? I'm not sure he was on 27, but you'd imagine he was one of the higher salaries at the club, definitely. And obviously good news about the Atkinson contract extension. Yeah, I mean, I'll summarise my thoughts on Nakhi Wells. We'll go onto this solo screen. I'll make it a short 50-minute stream because ultimately there's not a whole lot to talk about. Yeah, I don't think it's true. I just think he's one of the highest paid players at the club. I think it's fair to assume that he was amongst the top paid players, I would say. What am I trying to remember? Yeah, it's sad to see him go, I think. Overall feeling is sad, you know. I definitely felt quite connected to Nakhi Wells this season. He did a job for us. Definitely liked by the entire fan base. Absolutely. But he could have gone either way, I felt. You know, I'm not too upset that he did leave. And I think we can sign a striker very easily to replace at least his goals. Whether his experience is easy enough to replace is the other question. Do you think he could be heading to Bradford? I think it's likely that he could be. I mean, I'm sure there won't be a shortage of English clubs looking for his signature. It's just the question of, will he play in the Championship? I think maybe not. Maybe he goes... I think either he goes to Norwich, as Ben was suggesting with Liam Manning, and plays like a sort of bit part role there for his experience, or he does a homecoming to... He does a homecoming to Bradford, something like that maybe. Yeah, Naismith definitely was one of our highest paid players, definitely. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'll just read the chat before we sign off. You do, I think, yeah, the older you are, the more money you could potentially get, I would agree. Reckon he could be heading to Bradford. Yeah, we just answered that. Naismith would have been, yeah, 35-year-old. Who do you support, Hebbers? Who do you support? Right, I think that's everything. Yeah, Nakhi Wells is off. New contract for Rob Atkinson. 65 people watching the stream, by the way. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the Robinson S YouTube channel. And please leave a like on the stream as well. One in 10 people that are watching at the moment have left a like on the stream. So if you can leave a like on the stream, I'd really appreciate that. It helps YouTube show it to helps YouTube show it to new people. I've just got distracted by the chat. Backroom staff or going to Norwich agreeing deal. What do you know, Ben? What do you know? Tell me more. I'll stay live to see what Ben's got to say. Read pink in article. All right. I'm going to just look on Twitter a second. Pinken, you're talking about, right? Where's the article, mate? I don't see the article. Let's add this. Oh, this is the same as all bloody websites, isn't it? It's just full of ads, mate. I can't read the article. I'm looking at it off screen so no one can see. That's interesting. So he could potentially be going to Norwich then by the looks of it. Go reader mode. Yeah, it's not that as well. It's behind a subscription. It's full of ads and it's behind a subscription. And no offense, I'm not going to subscribe to a Norwich City newspaper. There was a There was a website you could go to that removes that, can't you? That was it. 12feet.io. I'm going to put the link in there and read it to you. I'm not going to show it on screen because I might get done if I do that. Just an article about Sargent is the latest one, mate. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything, but apparently he could be off to Norwich. Is what we're hearing. I don't know how true that is. Do you have any thoughts on Struber being head coach and not manager? I think Manning was head coach as well, was he not? I think that's the structure that City have got. Chairman, business people. I don't know the business structure behind that. Chairman, technical director, head coach. That's how it works. Manager, it's not really a role within the current structure, I don't think. All right, I think that's it. I'll leave it there. Thank you everyone for watching. 29 likes now. Thank you everyone for leaving a like on that. And yeah, I'm off to Glastonbury tomorrow. So I'm not sure I'll be able to go live to talk about any City news. So if you sign someone new, I might go live from the festival. Who knows? But yeah, I probably won't. This setup, Glastonbury behind me, but this setup here, yeah, won't be in place for about a week. By the way, I see Hazza says, see you there. If anyone in the chat or stream or whatever, I've already got a couple of people on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter at RobinsNest BCFC, I can't promise I'm gonna have loads of time. But if anyone wants to grab a beer, at Glastonbury and they're there, give us a shout. Shoot us a DM on X. That's my X handle. We've got 3 peeps in a podcast. Massive. Emil Reese's birthday tomorrow. Well, it'd be nice to get a little birthday paycheck, wouldn't it? Little birthday signing on bonus. I think he'd be a good option for us. I don't know if you guys have spoken about him on your podcast yet, but my only real knowledge and memory of Reese was him absolutely ripping Viner and Dickey a new one on the final day. So I'd be excited to see that happen. All right, I'll catch you maybe in a week, or if any of the major happens, I'll go live on my trusty old state of my phone. By the way, I'll go live on that from Glastonbury. All right.